All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Hustle Podcast. Today we're in episode 26. My name is John. I'm your host, and we have my co-host,
Gabriel Arambula.
And if you guys are new here, what we talk about on this podcast is everything relating to business, mindset, how we can add value to you guys, and also share our collective 25 years of entrepreneurial mistakes. That way, you guys know what to avoid and speed up your process in your entrepreneurial journey.
It's mostly John's mistakes. I never made really any mistakes.
I
at
did
all.
make a lot. And it's actually opposite day for Gabe.
It's not opposite day for me.
Opposite
Might
day.
be for you.
Every
Where you
day.
attempt to deflect anything that
deflect.
goes your way to the opposition.
The opposition
Which in
side.
this case, I guess I'd be the opposition.
Whatever.
That's not very nice. What are we talking about today?
Yeah, we have a great topic in store, man.
I know.
You know?
Well, what is it?
It is.
I know. Wait, I know because
Because I told you.
last night.
Yeah.
We came up with it, and we're like, all right, solid. And then we mentioned it this morning, and it was perfect.
It is. Drum roll.
I only got one arm. I'm like the
That's
drummer,
what-
the drummer
that's what-
from Def Leppard.
That's
One
why we
arm
do-
right here.
Oh, we got two of us. The topic is competence creates.
Competence. Wait. Competence.
Close enough. Competence creates
Confidence.
confidence. All right. If you guys have been with us
What's
for
the
a while-
topic again? Just you though. Oh wait, no, me too.
All right.
Try it again. Take two.
Competence creates confidence.
Oh, I thought I was.
I'm saying it.
I lost my. Oh
All right,
man.
no, you're good.
Okay.
If you guys have been with us since the beginning or the past few episodes, you guys know that we keep it real, authentic. We like showing behind the scenes. We have a lot of fun making these podcasts for you guys, and yeah, we're just here.
I don't rehearse, but John rehearses like when he's not working, he's just standing in front of a mirror.
in my head.
In your head.
In my head. Yeah. All right. Cool, guys. Well, competence creates confidence. What does that mean?
What is that?
What does that
what does that
mean exactly? Why is it important? How can you apply it in your life?
So okay, let's start here though. Let's start here.
Here's a mic.
No, the mic's right here.
Here's two.
There are people out there, individuals out there, and sometimes maybe I've been that person. Maybe you've been that person
Yeah.
that has a lot of confidence, but maybe lacks competence. And that's a dangerous combination. And depending on what you're doing, like what industry you're in or to what severity that is, and dealing with someone who has a lot of confidence but no competence is scary, especially when you're dealing with things like real estate, lending, where there's contracts, there's a lot of money at stake. I know, in the real estate world in my previous life, negotiating contracts and having questions, I would call the legal hotline and talk to an attorney for the California Association of Realtors. You have access. Every realtor has access to attorneys. And anytime I had a question or anytime I wasn't 1,000% sure that I understood a clause properly in a particular contract and negotiation, I would call CAR Legal.
Yeah.
Just to make sure. And even if I knew, and like, listen, at the end of the day, like when you're dealing with contracts, it's all in black and white. If you can understand English and you can read, and like it's pretty easy to understand.
Mhm.
It's just sometimes more reading than some people want to do, or the comprehension of the language. There's a lack thereof for some individuals. But at any rate, my point is this: like, I would go that extra mile. I would talk to attorneys. If after the conversation I wasn't sure, I would call back until I knew, like 1,000%, that I had all the information I needed to go to the table and negotiate with the other party on whatever terms we were talking about.
Right.
And I've been in like a number of real estate transactions, and it can get very like there could be a lot of back and forth, and it's very important that you have sufficient competence in order to ensure that you stay out of court. And I mean, you remember the story I told about my client who bought a house and the seller didn't disclose, and my client won in court because we were competent enough to understand the contracts and know that we knew that we had a case. I say we, but you know what I mean? I did the work for her, and I'm just proud of her because I told her what to do and she did, and she won.
Yeah.
So, that competence is it's necessary, especially if you want to grow. And chasing that competence, it's like how does one become more competent, right? It doesn't happen automatically, does it? You don't automatically just one day wake up and like, all right, today is the day I am competent. Yep. No.
You can't just take like a magic pill to all of a sudden have
impossible
knowledge.
Nope.
Have competence. You have to actually put in the work.
Yes.
Be in the trenches, get out in the field.
What did we talk about yesterday, bro?
We talked about teachability.
Teachability, right? And so like to be competent, it requires teachability. I have not met someone who is unteachable that is competent. In fact, they are the former person we spoke of who has confidence, but no competence. And when you lack teachability, you put yourself in a position that leads you to believe that you know everything. And that's very dangerous.
And you can only go so far.
Try performing heart surgery on yourself.
Yep. You can't just like if you just feel good, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do the best surgery ever, but you never went to surgery school. You've never done a surgery in your life.
YouTube videos. And again, that's an extreme.
Yeah.
But that can go down to something as simple as like waxing a car. Mm-hmm. I would be scared to wax a car. Like I mess it up, scratch it up or something. Like I couldn't do it, right? Because I don't have the level of competence. Now I'm sure I could do something at that level. I could do enough research. I could read the instructions. I could watch a few videos, and I bet you I'll get it down, right?
What you are confident in is knowing that you can learn to be competent, right? Because you've 100%. You've done it in the past too. Myself, like whenever we don't know something, we've understood that, hey, I can just learn it. I can go to school, go on YouTube, get in the trenches and just learn the thing, and then you become competent that way.
Yep.
Right. There's different levels of confidence too. We can get into that later or next time.
No, there's only one level of confidence, John.
Oh, yeah.
You either are or you are not. No, but so think about it. So, I originally said that to just kind of like just be a punk.
Let's do this. What?
No, let's not.
Bro, no,
plot twist.
We could
in the plot twist.
Shield.
Bro,
we could.
I had such the best rabbit trail to go down right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
But I think I forgot it now.
Oh.
Man.
That's fine. So
it'll come back.
Confidence, right? I know people have different definitions of what confidence means. What is that to you, Gabe? What's your definition of confidence?
Okay, now I remember. When it comes to confidence, thank you. Mm-hmm. When it comes to confidence, like you're either confident or not, right? Now that's my belief. Now, as far as levels of confidence, that's interesting because what comes to mind is, one's level of confidence should coincide with their wisdom and their competence, right? It's like I'm confident enough to, for example, I'm confident enough to like help someone buy, sell, finance, and refinance a property at any and every capacity because I've done it before. I'm confident enough to cook a holiday meal for a large group of people because I've done it multiple times. Mm-hmm. I'm confident enough to go boogie board out in the water because I've done it before, and I know Huntington Beach lifeguards are the best because they saved me one summer 6 times. I just like going out in the water and going. I go too far. I wasn't drowning. I just went too far. I was too far out there. So
they left on the edge.
So again, it's like, one's level of confidence should coincide with their competence. It should, right? And I think I've even found that in younger kids, or my kids, when they're at certain ages or certain levels, that even they, like my son Silas, he, as a young kid, he was very confident. Like he would dress different, like even like a 1 2 year old, he'd roll around with one glove on, like go to sleep with his shoes on. He'd wear two different shoes. He'd wear hats. He'd always be wearing hats and stuff like that, like trying to like style himself. Like he was very very confident. And then he would always like he'd like to walk at the park. The playground was laid in, and there was like a little wall. He liked to walk
Yeah.
on the edge of the wall, a little risky. You know what I'm saying? Stand on chairs and stuff like that. So it's like, one thing I noticed, and this is why I mentioned it. One thing I noticed about him, though, is that he was always like aware and cognizant. Like, I could tell he wouldn't push it too far. He wouldn't push it too far, and he had that little air of caution. And I think, as we grow, and as life progresses, and we're put into different situations, positions, or responsibilities, right? Because when our level of confidence and competence are not parallel, and we're put in positions of leadership, that could be dangerous. And I've seen that, and it could really harm a business, harm employees, and cost companies lots of money, right? And so, for example, if someone is, and just to be I'll illustrate it with a specific example in the wireless industry, right? If you have a manager in a store, and they're not competent enough to be a manager, but they have a lot of confidence, and that's how they got the position, but they don't have the competence,
Mm.
that store is going to end up failing unless
Yep.
something's done.
They can't back it
There
up.
has to be a change. Either you
Yep.
change, either the person changes, or you got to change the person.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens is that now damages the employees, which employees are your most valuable asset, and then it also damages the client base, which is your second most valuable asset.
And your store too.
That's your client base, your
Yep.
store. And so that level of competence, when not matched with a higher level of confidence, could be dangerous. The one exception, that I've seen a high level of confidence with a lower level of competence not backfire or not be damaging, is when that particular individual has a high level of teachability. And when you have that, and that teachability index is up, that willingness, because again, someone with high competence might not be there. They're put in a high position. Teachability level off the charts, teachability index off the charts, matching their level of confidence. They're like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. I can learn this. No problem. I got this. I'm going to figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sleep until I got this mastered. I got that. And that is the exception. And the differentiating factor between the individual that has that high level of teachability matching the confidence with a lower level of competence, that individual, their success rate, it's absolute. They're going to win. They're going to win. They're going to win because they're going to learn, and they're going to win. And they're going to make mistakes, but they're going to learn. They're going to ask questions. They're going to find things out. This person over here with a high level of confidence, low level of competence, and no teachability, low teachability index, they're going to fail. They're going to fake it. They're going to fake it. They're going to fake it, and they're going to get found out, because fakers get found out.
Yep.
And especially if the leadership above that manager, if they're good leaders. Because I mean, Let me spend a day in a store, and I'll tell you everything about their leader.
Yep.
Let me spend a day in a market, visiting a handful of key stores. I'll tell you everything about that leader.
Yep.
You walk in to a big company. Let me spend, 1 day or maybe two to 3 days if it's a big company, within the company, like on the sales floor, talking to people, and I'll tell you a lot about the leadership. Like, it's not difficult to find out what the climate is within a company, and when it comes to environments where, like any large business, any sale, there's going to be opportunities in every business. If there's not, you're not growing, because no business is perfect. There's always going to be opportunities, right? But there's just some environments where you're like, you know what, something's a little off here. Something's a little off here. I don't know if it's competence. I don't know if it's confidence, but there's something off in this environment. And so,
You can tell.
You could tell, right?
Yep.
And so, it's critical. And, the great thing is that, anyone could change. And like, I mentioned earlier, I've been that person oftentimes in the past, perhaps, where I've had a high level of confidence and a low level of competence. I mean, like, well, but here's the thing though, dude, like, even fast forward, there was an instance where I had a client, they were selling their house out in Winchester, California. Navy, served our country. He was getting shipped out to Florida, and he had to leave. He was out, so the house was there. I sold it. We're in escrow.
Yeah.
The buyer was doing a VA loan, and the patio had to get repaired. And this was like, it was in the middle of COVID, so like contractors and supplies were low. Like, getting a contractor, they were booked like months out, right?
Months out. Damn.
And we're trying to close escrow. And my guy's out serving our country, and like the typical realtor would pretty much put it on them. Like, say, hey, you got to figure it out. Call some contractors. Like, we got to get someone to figure it out. A decent to good realtor would say, hey, yo, listen, let me get a handful of names and numbers for contractors. I'll send them over to you. Just give them a call, set up some times, and then, see if you can get someone at the house. And if they can't go, I'll go. Right? It's a decent realtor. A great realtor, or a good realtor would say, hey, you know what, listen, let me do this. I'm going to contact some contractors. I'll get some quotes. I'll let you know what the quotes are. And then, we'll get it handled, right?
That's what you do. You're that realtor.
No.
Better.
No.
Above and beyond.
No. So what I did, I said, listen, I don't even know if I should be saying this. I said, listen, here's what we're going to do. Don't worry about a thing. I'm going to fix it for you. I'm going to take care of it. Just pay for the supplies, and, send me whatever, cash amount for my labor the good Lord puts on your heart, right? So I had to replace the top, a portion of the top decking, because there was damage. There was water damage. So I had to cut it out, replace all the wood at the top, portions on the bottom. Like, it was work, bro. So I was going to the house, and I'm in HB.
You're doing it by yourself?
Yes. Damn, I'm in HB, and this is in Winchester, California.
Dude.
I was driving. I drove out there every day for 5 days straight, and worked there all day. Because I'm not, like, this is not my thing, bro.
How long was the drive?
Over an hour, bro. Easy. Hour and a half plus, one way.
10 hours total.
Just driving.
5 days.
Bro. But I got it done, right? I fixed it. And so,
let's go.
My point is, I had a level of confidence that I could get it done. I never did it before, but I've done similar things. And I knew that anything that I couldn't figure out. I could probably go online and figure out and research, and I did, and I got it done. And so again, like that was an illustration or an example of where, you know, my level of confidence was right here. Competence was maybe like around right here,
Ooh.
but I knew I could fill that gap because I'm teachable. I'll figure it out, and I'm tenacious, like whatever it takes, right?
Yep.
And that's kind of like one example. But you know, again, I I'm a fan. I like confidence. I like confident people. I believe that's great. I just don't, you know, when you mix it with like arrogance and things like that, you know, I don't like that stuff. But I like happy people that are comfortable in their skin. Maybe I think confidence
Yes.
gets construed now because it's overused. I like to think of it like being comfortable in your own skin.
Let me add to that too, because like you know how I mentioned, I asked you how do you define confidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the way I see confidence is like literally if you search on Google, it says like freedom from doubt, ability
Mm.
in yourself, and
Mm.
your ability and your and your ability to like do things,
Yeah.
right? Like for you, you were confident that you can get stuff done. You can get
Yes.
it done, right?
Yes.
And then because you had that confidence, you're like, I want to do whatever it takes. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to go above and beyond. I'm going to
Bro.
like learn things.
Yeah.
I'm going to like actually just like figure it out. And then you did,
Rough
right?
week. I spent a lot, like the time that I spent there, bro.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just again, like, dude, I love my clients, dude. I love working, bro. I like doing good, bro. I like paying it for, like, man, just going that extra mile. Like, we're only here on this earth for a short time. Just try and do as much good as you can. Go the extra mile. Try and do as much good as you can,
Let
and
that sink in.
yeah, let that sink in.
You know,
That was a good, like, little cozy campfire moment.
telling you, bro, therapy session.
Therapy session. Yeah,
Therapy session.
free therapy session. That's good.
Yeah. And also like confidence too, right? The reason why like you can literally fake it. You can go far, but there's like a limit. There's like a cap, right? Like you can fake your way into a management position. Like you can talk, you can speak really well. You can say, "All right, I want to do all this. I want to do all that." Like you have your way of words, right? And that's how you get into that position. But if you can't back it up with action, you can't back it up through the competence, then you in that position, you're going to destroy your company. You're going to destroy the business.
And your like reputation and your
Yeah.
image, it's tough. I mean, like, there's
Unless you're teachable, like you
yeah,
mentioned, and you
unless you're
build that
teachable.
confidence too.
Yeah, and if you're not teachable, I mean, like, there's people I wouldn't hire again. You know, that I've hired before that I gave a shot and it didn't work out and they weren't teachable and they weren't, you know, and bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Good night.
Good night. Bye bye. What else, man? Confidence. Dude, it's so funny.
Yeah. When I was working at the wireless industry like 7 years ago, I had fake confidence. I had fake confidence. I was like pretending, trying to be all hype, energetic and stuff. But deep down, I had like major anxiety, right? Because I didn't have the competence, And then my results, it was good results, but over time it started going down because I can only go so far, right? But after I started getting into personal growth, personal development, that's
Mhm.
when I actually built the skills of like sales, persuasion, like talking to people, communication, leadership. And yeah, being here now as an account executive, it's easy. It's very easy now. I'm confident in my
Talking to
abilities
people, yeah.
to learn, grow, and develop, and
I
make
could
it big.
attest to that, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
The growth, man, and like, it just, thinking about being teachable and the lengths that someone would go to grow, to learn more. That's important, right? And the level of your commitment, and that level in which you would, sacrifice is the same level that your teachability, or the rate of your teachability growing, right? And so the hungrier you are, the more you seek after knowledge and growth, the quicker your competence will grow, and then the quicker your confidence will grow. And when you have that competence, when you have that knowledge behind you, that knowledge gives you power.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in sales, when you're on the phone, and that knowledge could even be knowing where to get the answers.
Yes. Yep.
Not everybody has all the answers up here. I know I do not.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, like John asks me questions sometimes. I'll be like, I don't know, but I'll figure it out, man.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
It's like you don't lack resources, you lack resourcefulness, right? If you can't find the answer, then that's on you, right? Like you don't have
dude,
to
that's
know.
a meme, bro. You don't lack resources, you lack resourcefulness. If you can't find the answer, that's on you.
Yep.
Someone make that a meme. Tag us.
Yep. I actually found that quote somewhere online.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Okay, so wait,
Except
no,
that that's on you.
I
Part.
was going somewhere with this though,
Yeah.
because I noticed something the other day. So again, to the level that you seek after knowledge and information, and as teachable, being extremely teachable, that's the rate that your competence will increase. Confidence will increase. So like, how hungry are you? Right? Are you seeking after information? Do you want to be that subject matter expert in your field? Right? Do you want to be that salesperson that knows your product, your company, your business, your industry inside and out? Right? And it's funny, John, you'll ask me, so like
Yeah.
here at the wholesale bank, you'll ask me questions that like have something to do with this whole like industry and realm, but not like specifically with what we're doing like right now. And like you ask me these questions, and I know you sense this, and I get a little bit perturbed. I'm like, dude, why? Like, this has nothing to do with what we're doing. Like, go get on the phones, go like or something like that, right? Yes, like just random questions, and I'm like, why are you asking? In my head, I'm like, why are you asking me these questions? Has nothing to do with what we're doing right now, but just as a general knowledge of the overall industry, right? And so it's funny when this topic came up, and like yeah, I think even yesterday where you were talking about like a correspondent lending, delegate, non-delegate, into my mind, and I even told you like, John, this shit doesn't matter, bro. All right,
Yeah.
like, but
It's cool to know as well because
it is no. But let me make a point. Hold on,
yeah, go ahead.
I want you to elaborate after.
Yeah.
But
All
my
right,
my point is this: John's level of like teachability and hunger goes to such extreme that he wants to be an expert in like everything pertaining to. He wants to know if someone mentions something and he doesn't know about it, he just digs in. Someone mentioned correspondent lending or delegate and non-delegate the other day, and he's just like digging in. He wants to know inside and out, and so the reason why he is hungry for every little morsel of knowledge he can obtain pertaining to the real estate and lending industry, banking industry, is he wants to increase his level of confidence and competence. Mm-hmm. He wants him to be parallel because his level of confidence is high. Sounds great on the phones. Competence is high too, but he wants to fill every single little nook and cranny. So if someone mentions something that he doesn't know anything about or he's not intimately familiar with, he's going to ask me and we're going to find out. We're going to dig in and we're going to fill those gaps. And competence increases, confidence increases, commissions increase.
Yep.
It's kind of how it goes. And I mean, like I wanted to mention that because I thought of that. I don't know if it was this morning or last night after we discussed the topic, but yeah, man, it's important. Like, listen, like, be a student of your business, whatever you're doing, especially if you're dealing with people's like livelihoods, right? Dealing with money, dealing with their homes, dealing with their health, dealing with their health and wealth. Be careful, guys. Don't you don't you can't fake it till you make it. The only person you're fooling is yourself. That's the only you ain't fooling no one. The only person you're fooling is yourself. So please be a student of your business and make a ton of money.
Be a lifelong learner.
Lifelong learner.
Lifelong learning. And of course, like going to your point, ask a lot of questions because yes, I want to have more confidence in that thing that I'm working on. Let's say, like whatever the business I'm in, right? It's like why not know all the moving parts, right? Seeing like the bigger picture so we can see like different perspectives, right? Because when you're the way I see it, like everything is interconnected, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I know damn well if I was never involved in the real estate space before doing mortgages, I wouldn't even understand like what a fourplex was.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
understand like what's a purchase agreement. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, how does that work? You know? But because I understood like a different point of view, like on like the real estate wholesale side, seeing how like buyers buy properties, I can being on the mortgage side now I see okay, I'm just on this side now, like lending the money for the investor to buy the property, right? And it just helps like connect all the pieces together, and just having that knowledge, you're able to have so much more confidence in like the conversations too when you're having the conversations.
100%. Yeah, yeah, because it throws you off. Like
Yeah,
if you're having a business conversation
yeah,
and someone mentions something on a topic that you're not familiar with,
yep,
that could throw you off your game. Let's be
yeah.
honest.
It's like let's say there's like the way I learned too. I'm pretty sure a lot of people learn this way as well. Like if there's like a whole puzzle, right, and I'm missing one puzzle piece, I'm like I don't even know what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
During conversations, whenever someone says something that I don't know, I'm like, oh,
That's a
dang.
missing puzzle
And
piece.
then whatever they say after that, I'm like, dude, what are you even talking about, right?
Yeah.
Until I learn about the thing to talk about, and then I go back to the conversation. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what you mean, and boom,
Mm-hmm.
just straight pure confidence after that.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good stuff, man.
it's
Well,
good, bro. It's good. Great podcast. Competence creates confidence.
confidence.
If you ever lack confidence in some area, then then I suggest learn about that area and
Yeah, and
improve
like
in that
even
area.
and even reach out to
Take the
us.
action. Yep.
Comment or DM us. What area are you lacking confidence in? And more than likely, John and I have lacked confidence in that area as well. If it's in sales, whatever the case may be, we're here to add value, to help, to build the community, build the network of like-minded individuals who want to form strategic partnerships, grow together, do business together, and such. But until next time,
Yeah. If you guys enjoyed episode 26 of the Hustle Podcast, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Like it. Also share it for friends if you guys got value. That's how we grow the show. We don't run ads on this. And yeah, I think that's a wrap.
that's a wrap.
See you guys
Thanks.
tomorrow,
We'll
episode
see you guys.
27.
Oh, yeah. And if you want to get in contact with us, information is in the caption below and in our bio.
Yep.
All right. Make
All
sure you
right.
like, comment, follow, share, all that jazz.